Okay, so let me just log in as the Oracle user, and I have created one instance here. Have the two instances are there. One is that new DB and other one is that single instance. So I'll log into one instance and shut down the other, because both I just created two instances thinking that we'll be able to do one instance with RCONFIG and other one is using the manual method. So let me just go to and shut down it. Okay. So here we can see that I just selected the name from withdrawal data file. We have the data files under our ASM disk group plus data, and just checking the show parameter cluster underscore database equal to set to false. Fine. Now one more thing before proceeding, we have to check how much is the space that you are having. So let me just switch to grid user. I mean space for the ASM disk group. How do you remember the password for the grid user?
Grid 123.
Grid 123. Okay, fine. I'll set up the ASM instance parameter. Then ASM CMD LSPG. For the data disk group, we have almost 6 GB left out of this. So I think that should be sufficient space for us. So we'll go back and we'll see the conversion procedure. Okay. So for conversion, we are using the RCONFIG utility. So a good practice is that, suppose in this case that's not an issue because our grid home as well as the our single instance home as well as our RAC home, both are the same home, so that's not an issue. But in case if your single instance is on a different home, it's always better that you before we run the RCONFIG, because RCONFIG utility has to be run from your Oracle home, which is which is a cluster home, or from your RAC Oracle home you should be running. So it's a good practice that you set up or change the environment variable to that Oracle home. So in here, to make it sure, I'm just changing the Oracle home, that is Vaishit 1. In our case, as you can see that in the etc or tab, all the Oracle home is the same one. But in case if you have the 2 Oracle home is there, you should make sure that your current working Oracle home is the cluster Oracle home. Am I clear here?
Yeah.
So let's check which RCONFIG. It is on the Oracle home /bin directory. Now we'll go to Oracle home and modify our sample XMLs. CD assistance. CD RCONFIG sample XMLs. There are 2 files are there. The one which you're going to use is that convert to RAC admin managed XML. So let me take a copy first. Okay. Okay. Now what we do that we'll keep the original file and we'll modify the new file what we created. So okay. As we discussed, the first parameter which is going to we'll be modifying is that convert verify value. So this value can be run on 3 modes. One is that verify yes, where in which or first verify only, where in which it will check whether what are the parameters we specified is correct or not, and then it will show either succeeded or failed, but it will not convert the files. When you are specifying convert verify equal to yes, it will verify, and if the verification success, then it will proceed with the conversion. And if verify equal to no, then it will straight away proceed with the conversion without doing any verification. So in our first step, we'll make it only so that we'll see any issues with our conversion. Okay. Now the source Oracle home and the target Oracle home we have to change. Harry, the Oracle home is /byte/db home.
Yeah, DB home underscore.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same thing will be changing for since our source and target is on the same home, so we have to. Next one, what will be changing that? The SID for the source instance, and the password is, I have given the same password, that is Oracle only, so there is nothing to change there. So that's done the part with the source database. On that now, for the target database, we have to specify the node list. So the first node will be Vaishit 11G R31. R32. Okay. Now the next one. So once we specify the node, The next one will be the instance prefix for the RAC database. So here we will give single itself. So at the or we can just give cluster. So once the conversion is successful, we'll have two instances on both. I mean, one instance on both instances, that is cluster 1 and cluster 2. Because since we have only two nodes, there will be two instances created. Okay. Now it's asking where is your shared storage. The shared storage type is ASM. Then it's asking you what is your target database area. In our case, it should be data. And then what is the target flash recovery area? In our case, that's also data. That's all. These are the parameters changes to be done for the XML file for conversion of single instance database to a RAC database. Remember, the first point to be noted is that here the source database and the target database are located on the same server. They can be on the two different Oracle home. It's not an issue. The source database can be on local file system. Even that's also not an issue. Is the parameter changes are clear for everyone?
Yeah.
Any questions, Srini? Okay. Now I'll run RCONFIG. Then when I'm RCONFIG, the usage is at RCONFIG, then the input file. If you wanted to store the output in XML file, then you can specify the output XML. In our case, it's not required. So what I'll give RCONFIG, then the XML which contains our conversion details. It says that it cannot get SQL engine and the operation failed. So we can the more detailed information, say due to some reason it's telling that here you can see that the result code is 1 and it says that got exception. So the operations failed, and it's telling us to check this log file more detailed information. So let's see what's there inside that log file. Here it says that somehow it's not able to get Vaishit db_home/bin SQL plus. It could not get this information. Are you able to see this error?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see why this is happening. We'll just give cat/etc/tab. The possible reason could be that our Oracle home is different. It is db_home1. So let's change this value and see whether that's resolved our issue.
I forget what I have to solve.
No problem. No problem. Let's mistakes come, then only we'll be able to understand more clearly. It is db_home1. Yeah. I think we are now we should be fine. Let's save this and run this command again. Okay, that's again. Yeah, again we'll run RCONFIG converted to RAC XML. Now we are getting the result as operation succeeded.
Yes.
Are you able to see? So that this means that our configuration file, it doesn't mean that our conversion structure, we have not converted actually. We just given all the values and checked our config utility to confirm whether our values are correct and will you be able to convert. And while during the actual conversion, we may face issues like there is no sufficient memory if you don't have the enough memory for your operating system, or else you may get errors like say you don't have enough space. That all things, runtime errors may be coming. But as per the values we are given, our config utility is ready to or is fine with the conversion. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So again, before doing this step, again you should take the backup of your source database, because there could be a situation where which the conversion doesn't go good, and you may end up in a half-baked situation. To overcome that things, we should be able to. I mean, you should take your backup of the database well before this change.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we'll open this file once again and. Okay, here now we'll give verify equal to. Yeah. Now we have the two options. Either we can just give verify equal to no, because we already verified and proceed. Otherwise, we can just give verify equal to yes, so that let it do verification once again and then proceed with the conversion. Now we can again run RCONFIG convert to RAC.xml. Depends upon the size of the database, this activity may take minimum 15 to 20 minutes of time. Internally, what happens is that it takes the backup of the database, and then it takes an RMN backup, then restore it, and then whatever we discussed with the manual method, the entire steps are being done behind the screen.
So if you're doing on two different nodes, we need to configure the TNS and for the.
No, it will not be working with the TNS. That's the problem.
Okay.
RCONFIG utility can be converted, as per my knowledge, and I check with a few documents also, which is not telling any option in which we can do it from across the nodes. Because if you're looking in the RCONFIG utility file, it's not providing any option for a TNS entry.
Okay.
Correct. It is just telling the source SID, username, password, and